Hello again. This morning I've got a window of opportunity and I'm out looking for the last lock of the Ohio and Erie Canal down in West Portsmouth. Well, what's now known as West Portsmouth, where the Ohio and Erie Canal ran into the Ohio River. I didn't actually know anything about the canal when I started cycling, but then you start biking some of these trails like the towpath, and you go past these canals, you start learning about them. And I've driven past this spot a lot, had no idea it was down here. There's actually a couple of locks down the road from here, a couple of the old locks. One of them I drove past and you could actually see it from the car. And I drove past it for well over a year before realizing it was over there. And that's after learning about the canal. I was contemplating doing some kind of bike trip or video about the path of the canal, like following the path and trying to find whatever remnants are left that we can find. And I haven't got it planned out yet. I'm not sure how I would do it. If I had time, I would bike it from one end to the other, and I still might do that. But it's gonna take a while. It's over 300 miles, and I'm going to want to stop and spend some time in some of these areas. Find some of the functioning canals for examples. Anyways, and coincidence, and I didn't know this either, I don't think very many people know this, but here in Scioto County is one of the oldest roads probably in America. I tried to Google and find other info about it, and Google lists other roads as the oldest, but they're not listed as old as this one. So I came in on this road. It's the Buena Vista Portsmouth Pike, which is also known as the Old River Road or Scioto Township Road. And it was established in 1810. You can still see some of the, like the original rock work that was laid out for it. Like, it's like a stone path. And in the stonework, you can see where the wagon wheels had worn ruts into the stone. I had no idea. It seems like the area is trying to preserve it, but there's no historical signs or anything like that. And I really feel like there should be. And you can drive on it. You could drive down it. Actually, over here to my left is also would have been part of that road. I'm pretty sure it just came down in a straight line. And they come down here and it crossed the bridge right by the locks. So we're going to come down here and try to find the locks, and if I don't get into any kind of massive mess down here, I'll try to show you some video of the stonework on this road. It's kind of cool. If you're interested in more stuff on the canal, let me know. Anyways, let's get down here to the canal. You can actually look on Google Maps or Google Earth in the satellite view, and you can actually see the stonework from the canal at the mouth of the river. And I flew the drone out and was able to see it. I'm not sure how grown up it is. And I feel like stuff like this should really be, we should be preserving it. I bet, you know, if there was access to this, people would come and check it out. So this is super cool. This is the last lock flowing from the Ohio and Erie Canal, flowing from Cleveland down to what's now Portsmouth, Ohio. Some of the hardware is still here. So the last gate on the canal would have been right here. This is some of the hardware for the door or the gate. Over on the other side, I don't know if we can see it. On the other side is also that same piece. And on the sandstone over there, they've got metal braces, almost like staples, holding them together. I don't see those over here on this side. I don't know if this concrete wall was here to begin with, if that was part of the canal, or if that was put in later. I feel like it was probably put in later. This is the top of the canal, so the boats wouldn't have been, I don't think the boats would have been lifted up above that. I'm not really sure. So they've got these, I'm gonna fall in this mud. They've got this massive stone structure here with this metal frame going across the top. I'm not 100% sure how this was used. You see the some of the sandstone is falling out of the wall. There's some type of metal rods. There's a hole in the wall here to let the water flow through. I feel like this wall was probably put in place after the canal was closed. It's concrete. So the boats would have flowed down the canal here. They would have opened the gates and let the boats flow through. Or vice versa, they would open the gates, letting the boats come back in. Let's climb up over this wall and see what it looks like on the other side. the other side of the concrete wall, from the concrete wall, you can see the other end of the locks under the water here. So this was part of the canal. So that's the last lock on the Ohio and Erie Canal. The canal, they started working on the canal in 1825, and it was completed in 1832. So from 1832, boats started flowing through this lock, and the boats just got pulled along the lock. There was no motors on the boats. There was a path along the canal, and mules would walk that path, pulling the boats as they went through, all the way from Cleveland down here to the Ohio River, and vice versa, from the Ohio River all the way up to Cleveland to the Lake Erie. In 1913 is when the canal stopped operating due to extensive flooding and damage. And then also, by that time, a lot of the canal business was going over to railroad. Pretty neat piece of history. They literally dug a ditch from Cleveland all the way down to Portsmouth here, and then hauled boats down it. And it was a big operation. Not only did they had to make other canals to feed water to the Ohio and Erie Canal. Recently, I learned that, for instance, Buckeye Lake was created just to push water to the canal. It is now Ohio's first state park, Buckeye Lake State Park, that is. Really, really cool. You know, one of the things I like about traveling by bike is it slows you down and you get a look at stuff that you wouldn't normally see. I really couldn't tell you how many times I drove by this other lock and didn't see it. So, really cool aspect of biking. I have a bigger appreciation for railroads and stuff now. Anyways, let's go check out some of the stonework in this road. 1810s, the road was here before the canal. I think that framework going over the canal there was probably for a bridge. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like that was probably for a bridge. All this grass line or this weed line over here, all of this would have been part of the road we was talking about. I feel like they should try to preserve it. I'm sure if the money was here, somebody probably would. They're supposed to be doing a rail trail down here connecting Portsmouth and heading northeast or northwest for 20 some miles. Maybe they could add this as part of the bike path, and they could create a bike path through this road just to preserve the history of it. Be pretty cool. Anyways, let's go check out the road, folks. I don't know how well you can see it on the video, but these are ruts from wagon wheels. So this spot where the sand is, that's where the sand is washed into the rut, but you can still see it pretty clearly. That, let's see here, that line right there, that line is the edge of the wagon wheels. $18.10. One of the oldest, if not the oldest road in America. Ohio, anyways. One of the oldest, if not the oldest, road in Ohio. This is quality content. Like and subscribe.
Spain is the most awesome dude ever.